Okay, so what if I told you there's this hidden war being fought every single day, and the battlefield? It's your social media feed.
I mean, you've seen it, right? You've felt that shift. The way people talk online, it's just different. You see these words that don't technically make sense, but somehow you know exactly what they mean.
Yeah, I'm talking about words like unalive, segs, or even calling the pandemic the panini. At first glance, it just feels like some weird inside joke, right? But believe me, it is so much more than that.
Because what if this whole strange new code isn't just some passing trend? What if it's actually the key to a massive global fight for control of your screen? And I'm talking about a fight between you, the platforms you use, and yeah, even entire governments. All right, let's get into it. It all starts with what some people are calling our new secret language. So this whole thing actually has a name. It's called algo-speak. And really, the definition is pretty straightforward. It's basically a kind of self-censorship. We all start using these coded words to talk about things we know the platform's automated systems, the bots, are going to flag and maybe even penalize us for. It's like linguistic self-defense. And you have to admit, the creativity is just wild. Unalive when you're talking about death or suicide. Segs instead of, accountant has become code for a sex worker. Even leg booty for the LGBTQ+ community. It's literally humans finding a way to talk to other humans, right under the nose of the machine. So that really begs the question, right? Who or what is this machine we're all hiding from? Well, let's talk about the bot in the machine. The whole reason AlgoSpeak even exists is pretty simple, actually. We're all trying to avoid the bots, those massive automated content moderation systems that are constantly policing these platforms. The key thing to remember is people aren't hiding from other people. They're hiding from algorithms. And the scale we're talking about here, it's just staggering. Get this, according to TikTok's own report, its automated systems removed over 150 million videos in just 3 months. I mean, when you're up against a dragnet that massive, you've got to get creative just to survive.
But here's where the story takes a turn. This whole fight isn't just about dodging censorship anymore. See, a lawsuit filed by the state of North Carolina makes a much darker accusation. That these platforms aren't just policing what you say, they might be intentionally designed to be addictive.
And there's this one quote from the lawsuit that just perfectly illustrates the alleged mindset. So when some employees raised concerns about users getting addicted, someone at ByteDance, that's TikTok's parent company, reportedly asked, "Isn't addiction in this sense considered a very positive metric in our field?" Wow.
And the lawsuit really gets into the nitty-gritty. It claims that features we all know, like the For You algorithm, the autoplay and infinite scroll that just never end, that unpredictable dopamine hit you get from likes, even late-night push notifications. It claims these are all intentionally designed to get people hooked, especially minors, who are, neurologically just more vulnerable to this stuff.
So you might be thinking, but wait, what about all their safety features? Well, the lawsuit basically calls them a smokescreen. Take this, for example. TikTok talks a big game about its automatic 60-minute screen limit for teens, but the lawsuit? It alleges this is pretty much useless because you can just override it with a simple passcode.
And it's the same story with that refresh your feed feature, right? The one that's supposed to give you a fresh start? The lawsuit claims it's only temporary. The algorithm just quickly figures you out again and pulls you right back down the same rabbit hole. Okay, so this is where the fight escalates. We're zooming out from personal addiction to, believe it or not, the highest level possible, national security. And according to the US government, and reports from serious organizations like the Congressional Research Service, the answer is yeah, it could be. Because this isn't just about what you see on your feed anymore, it's about who controls the feed itself.
Basically, the US government's fears really boil down to 2 core things. First up, data espionage. There's a Chinese law from 2017 that could, in theory, compel ByteDance to hand over the data of 170 million Americans. And second, malign influence. This is the fear that the For You algorithm could be secretly manipulated to either push foreign propaganda or to suppress certain viewpoints.
And look, those fears weren't just talk. They led to this. In April 2024, a Divest or Ban Act was actually signed into law. The Supreme Court upheld it in January of 2025, and for a wild 48 hours, the ban was actually in effect. Then, a new administration came in and paused it, setting a new deadline for some kind of deal to be worked out. So yeah, this was absolutely not a drill.
So all of this
this high-level political and legal drama. It all comes back to a really personal question for every single one of us. Who actually owns your feed?
The proposed fix is this really complex corporate deal called a qualified divestiture. Let me break it down. Basically, a new U.S. company gets created. An investor group, led by Oracle, takes majority control. ByteDance, the original Chinese parent company, becomes a minority shareholder with zero control, and Oracle would then act as this trusted security partner, which means they'd host all the U.S. data and be in charge of monitoring the algorithm. But, and this is a huge but, here's the twist. The whole central conflict has suddenly shifted. The government's original fear, remember, was about hypothetical foreign censorship from China. But now, critics of this deal are worried about something else: definite domestic censorship by the new U.S. corporate owners.
And that brings us right back to you. This whole war for your feed, from the secret language of algo-speak all the way up to global politics, it's always been about one thing: control. So the real question, the one you have to ask yourself is, who do you trust to control it?